knowledge meets the action. Welcome to the Empowerment Show, where we break down the barriers, helping you grow. Financial literacy, speaking truth to the power. Real conversation, changing lives by the hour. We inspire to change, here we challenge the status quo. Sharing tools for building wealth, watching your seeds grow. Empower you to take control of your future. No more living in the past, we're the authors of the suture. Get ready, get set, let the movement begin. Because empowerment starts now, let the light in.
Hello, Pennsylvania and beyond. I'm Anna Lopez, and I'm Pocono Mountain School District School Board Director, and I'm also a candidate for Pennsylvania District 115. Now, today's show, I wanted to go over about my week, because this week has been very impactful because signature petitions just started and we're off to an awesome start. I definitely appreciate the whole process of it all, though it's very time consuming, but I'm doing it personally myself. Because I want to make sure that the people's voices are counted and people know that I absolutely thank them from the bottom of my heart for all their support and encouragement all during the week. I have been in the snow, yes, in the blizzard, with my snowsuit and my tin boots. So definitely have been warm. Roads were super slippery, and people opened the doors to me. So I thank you very much again. Let's start my week off with a couple of things I've been doing. I'll start off with my civic engagement initiative. I did, it was Thursday the 19th. We went over some legislation. Some of the things we did talk about that was brought to the table by our community was we talked a lot about medical access. Because a lot of people, they go to work and they have these co-pays if they even take the insurance that their employer gives to them, because it'll take them at least one day or more of work in order to pay for their insurance. So they're not really bringing home that money. So in fact, when they do work, they're still coming out of work with a lot less to pay the bills. So they're really struggling. And what I was thinking about at the table, I introduced some of my legislation about that minimum wage, because it seems like Pennsylvania is having a hard time with coming to an agreement. So I believe that what we can do, maybe everyone can agree, or, most, right, can agree that maybe it's the corporations that make the most profit, maybe we can require them to pay for medical insurance for their employees, so that it wouldn't come out of the pocket of the employees, so they could bring home more money. And also for the medical access, for maybe we can build like a contract with everyone in education and everyone in small business, so that we could be able to have more purchasing power, so that we could be able to afford medical insurance at a cheaper rate. You see, if we do this at the state level, all the education workers, I believe there's 680,000 workers, including transportation, and custodians, to security, to secretaries, everyone. If we bring our bargaining power to the table, we may be able to reduce that cost. And in turn, we'll be able to reduce what we pay at the school board level, so that our taxpayers won't have to pay that huge amount that really contributes to the large part of our budget. And it'll give the access that everyone needs to medical coverage, and also help their pocket with not having to pay out of their income that they're making at the time. So with this minimum wage, as I was saying, we can require these bigger corporations that are making so much profit to be able to do this for their medical access, and on top of that, help them bring up that how you say that, because the minimum wage is $7.25. So if we bring it up to 25, or even 18, because really 17, 15 is not really going to help really provide for a family. I think 25, based on the profits of these huge corporations, is something as a good ask. Um, and I really would like to pitch the idea so that we could continue having the discussion to see how we can refine the idea. Because I think that coming to our community, right, and we're talking about things, it's something serious. And having those ideas are wonderful, because I even had a person there that was talking about, she works at Manpower. And at Manpower, they don't offer that insurance. And then she doesn't qualify for Medicaid because of how much money she makes. So, because of that, this idea could really help her. And it gave me the idea to include the contract workers, because I was thinking small business workers and teachers, all the education, so it could help, immediately impact the taxpayer, right, to help them in savings. Because I need to stabilize our taxation system, so it doesn't tax us out of our homes, because it's doing that to me. So this is why I feel a huge commitment helping our taxpayers, especially, I mean, I've heard of people talk to me
Yeah,
about,
I want to ask you a question, Hannah.
oh,
I've
sure, I'm
heard this.
sorry, I didn't,
I'm sorry, but just the type of questions that you're or even the proposal that you plan to propose, those they it's not the first time that we've heard politicians say that. So even in order for you to do what you want to do, you'd have to get some sort of legislation on your side, would you not?
yeah, I've written it all out, most of it. These new ideas I have to add into, because what I got at I would call it the kitchen table, but it was at my solution summit. What I got at the kitchen table, sitting down with my community members, is that manpower part for contract workers, and the small business part, that's not in my legislation right now that I'm currently writing. Um, so I think that's really I think that those are really great ideas to at least help reduce that cost of medical access, and it'll give us more buying power, because it really is simply a contract and there's not that much extra cost, very minimal cost to be able just to hold that responsibility.
Well, I'm going to tell you what the corporations they're not going to go for it, of course, because you can scream to the rafters if you want to with them. They're going to do everything they can to fight you tooth and nail, because that means that's going to cut into their profits, and they don't want to do anything to cut into their profits. And if they did do something like that, then they may actually retaliate by starting to cut people loose. I mean, starting to lay people off, or not start that non-hiring practices because they say they can't afford it, because they're going to have to shell out this extra money to help people pay for their medical that coverage. So, I mean, is there some way on the state level that maybe that the corporations, instead of them, yeah, they could shell out the money, but maybe there's a way that they could be subsidized for that amount of money?
Mm. You, um, you, you know what? Honestly, I need to have more conversation with others on it as well. But I believe that based on just some studies that I've been researching on, corporations really, they understand the power of a person's life. So this is why they hire to make money, and they understand that what they pay you is not what you're worth. They make a lot of money on your labor, a lot, and corporations won't open up where you don't have a labor force, right? So I don't think it would be in their best interest to lay off their labor force, because it would hurt their bottom line, as you were saying, that profit. So I don't think that it would be a great business move for these large corporations to be cutting employees off or trying to move out. If you see how much money they make in Pennsylvania, we don't have to sell out our state at all. We actually are very hard workers. We're very dedicated workers, and we make a lot of money for those corporations, a lot. And we are at least are asking, it's a very simple ask to be healthy, so that we can show up to work, so that we can pay our bills. So we're asking to not only to survive, but to have a life, to be able to live. And I don't think that's so much ask. And if the corporations don't feel like that is something that they want to do, then I don't think they belong here in Pennsylvania. But as I was researching, like I said, I haven't seen a corporation that I don't think that they would do something like that, because we have large corporations here in Pennsylvania that we're very proud to have, very proud to have, and what they do and what they bring to our economy here in Pennsylvania. on the other side of it, because you have both sides. And that's my other side. I'm very prideful for the corporations that are here in Pennsylvania. It's just that a lot of my
Are
community
they
members are not
contributing? Those
exactly.
corporations that you're
They're
mentioning,
just
are they contributing to healthcare, and are they paying their decent wages to their employees?
no, no. That's one of the big issues. My constituents are believing that they're just not, they're being taxed too much and they're not being paid their fair share. So they're going to work, they're not getting their medical care, they're not getting, the wages that they
The
could bring back
taxes, that's going to
home.
come from the government. That's going to be a government issue. The taxes, that's not going to be done with the corporation. That's going to be at a federal level. They're the ones that's the state and federal. Those are the cats that's taking your taxes. But I mean, the corporations, like I was saying, they're gonna come back at you, and they're probably gonna come back at you in a way that may not be beneficial to us as the regular people that's got to go down to the doctor, or people that's trying to get this insurance. So, and another way to look about it, just to go about it from a different angle, is maybe you can get the corporations to receive some sort of subsidies from the state or from the federal government, as saying, okay, if I participate in this program, then I can get some of this money back. Because remember, corporations are all about making a profit, right? They
Yeah,
and if you're
but they're
taking
making
away,
too much profit. And if we are going to subsidize, why is it that if they're making so much profit off of my life, why is it that they can't provide the health care to keep my life going? I think it's in their financial best interest to be able to protect the life that they are getting all this money from. If they were really, really smart about it, they can see that, hey, I want to make more money off that person. So let me get them the best doctors, the best medicine in the country, because I want them to live a very long time, and I want them at work every single day, and I want to get every penny out of them that I can, because I mean, that's how they think, right? So it's the same mentality. It's just on a different route, because as you see, more and more workers are sick. They're dying. So I think to help them keep their profit, as they want their profit to stay full and steady and full force, they're going to have to provide this for their employees and their people, because they want the profit, don't they?
yeah, but they want the profit, but in this environment, pretty much the way we're setting up to be, AI is taking over a lot of that. So a lot of jobs, I mean, AI and robotics, they don't sleep. They don't get sick. They don't call out. And so a lot of these corporations, like any, I guess, good businessman, you still want to maintain money. So if you can do with less employees, then yeah, I guess that's what they'll probably end up doing because of the technology that's coming in. So how is that going to benefit us as a
Well,
people? Here, I live in Pennsylvania. I want to work for this company. I may not be able to get a job or lose my job, because they still want to have more medical, which is going to cost the company more money. Now the company decide, hey, well, you know what? We'll take our money and we'll go with AI or something like that.
well,
What's
I would
the
approach
preventing
it.
from that?
Yeah, I would approach it from three aspects. One, if that's the way we're going, then we should seriously invest in our education system to help our kids become those engineers that are building those robots that we would need if that was a demand. There's a lot of engineering demand now that's not only robots, but electricity. We need to become more independent. Our electric bills are going out of the roof. So if we can, which I have another legislation on, where we can invest seriously in our education system, then our world will get a lot better, because we're going to be developing our children into these much needed areas of interest, because students are interested in it. MCTI, you know how many students are on the waiting list at MCTI because they want to be on a trade, computer science, and there's over 600 students. And we don't have, and where's the funds for that? So 600 students that are not only in my district, but in PV, Pleasant Valley and East Stroudsburg, like we all feed into that MCTI. And
I just
where's the
hope
money?
that I hope that they upgrade, because I tell you, I have a master's in IT, so I've been in the computer field for a very long time. Again, the computer field constantly evolves. And it's at the point we have so many people that are in computer science, as you want to say, It's not paying the kind of money that you would think that it's going to earn you. And unless you're an engineer, or if you have to, I would say, even if you went to MCTI, I would tell you to go further your education. I would tell you to maybe go to engineering, maybe some actually developing the software that they're actually utilizing, and not just become a tech. So I would just tell people that want to be in the computer field now. Cybersecurity is always a big thing.
Yes.
I just see that because of AI, average Joe Blow now that couldn't do certain things, now he has the ability to do these things. So that's taken away from those people who went to school all these years to learn how to do exactly what AI can do in a matter of seconds. You see people building their websites. People are building all kind of things, all kind of stages. You see all the different, they can make themselves into cartoon. That's at the lower angle. That's at the lower level. That's just what you are given as a regular consumer. But on the upper level, the AI can do so much more. So how are we going to be able to keep a job?
Compete.
I mean, it's cool to say education, but I think I don't want to let school
evolve. We need to evolve. Just
right.
like before we had the internet, we had to evolve and develop ourselves. And I think that's where we got so far away from our education system. We no longer develop our children. We teach to a test. We don't help our environments to discover oneself. I believe we could get some more quality out of our lives once we start focusing on the development of ourselves, and we'll find what we love to do and use the AI as a tool for us to do the things that we love to do. We'll become deeper into our intellect, and we'll move further if we evolve. It's up to us. It's up to us as a community if we are willing to invest in our children and in their future, and plant the seed today, so that the child can experience the tree and their grandchildren will experience that shade.
Well, I tell you, it comes down. A lot of it comes down to funding. That's what the politics is all about. It's about how you're going to utilize. It's about the use of the resources that you're going to receive. So
so I have legislation on that too, because I would like to tax the high real estate transactions and the high car luxury taxes. I need to raise that tax so that I could put it in a fund just for education and protect that money so they could funnel down to the schools so we could relieve the taxpayer and develop our children.
Again, with the tax things, when you tax the corporation,
it's a problem.
The corporation. It's not so
I'm
much
not taxing the corporation. It's a transaction for education. So
they look at it when they look at it as a tax on them, and what they'll end up doing is they'll turn around and they'll put this tax right back on you, the consumer, as they've done year after year after year. I think we got to look for a better way to at least to fund schools. I think it should be where monies from the state should actually be allocated for education, especially when you talk about public school. Okay,
so you're saying like an income tax?
Organization. Well, not even income tax. You just have to have a certain amount of money. Once they figure out the budget, they actually know how much money is needed to fund the schools. Then the state should allocate that money so that this way the schools can receive that money. They can receive those resources. What's happening in education now is you have public schools versus the private schools, or versus what it is, the charter schools. They're versus the charter schools, and what's going on is money that is supposed to be allocated towards public school is now being divided, or not even divided, but given like 60% of it now going toward charter schools, and the public schools are not being funded properly. So how is it that you can get a proper education when the educators have to go out and buy materials just to run their class? It's being made very difficult to be an educator in the public school world. Now, the majority of our people are going to come from the public school. So if we don't give our people an opportunity to receive an education, it gets to a point where what do we just everybody's going to have to pay because you got charter school is not free, private school is not free. So what is everybody going to have to pay to go to school? So if you're poor or impoverished,
if we don't solve it, then what's going to happen is we're going to exit out of the economic system. That's what's going to happen. And I don't think the economies of the world want that. But if we continue getting so pressed, I'm telling you, a lot of us are. You saw during COVID how many people exited from the economy. If you get more people to exit from that economy, then you won't have a system. So you either help fix the system or break it. Because right now it's how you say it, the infrastructure is failing. It doesn't have the strength anymore. So if you either strengthen it and fix it, or it's going to be gone. So it's up to the people and up to the corporations to come together, and up to the legislators to come together and work this out. So as they're working it out, still have families in crisis. So what is my idea to help that? So my idea to help that is to build a nonprofit that's called Pocono Community Stability Network, because a lot of us are in our specializations, and what we're doing is we're helping families. But if we come together and fill in those gaps, we will be able to stabilize that family even further while they're in crisis. Because you know what I do? I volunteer and I help families every year go through crisis. And just last night, I have one of my families, their dog, they got stuck in the snow, and their dog got out of their house. And they're in Pocono. They live in the Pocono Township. So they called me, and there was a police that was there. And I went into that situation to help the dog, and I had to bring my husband wasn't quite happy with me, but I did bring home the dog because I went to Austin.
Yeah. You brought the dog home? I wouldn't have been happy with you either. Why'd you bring the dog home?
Because the police officer had nowhere to bring the dog. And then I volunteered to bring the dog to Austin.
You're going to bring some nasty creature into your house?
I know the family, I'm helping them, but
you're helping who? Not your husband?
It's not a nasty creature. It's a dog.
What are you talking about? He's out there in the cold in the street. It's raining. It's wet. He's nasty. He got germs.
I cleaned him.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Look, we're going to take a quick little commercial break. What we're going to do right here, we're going to take a little commercial break, and Anna's going to come back, and she's going to break it all down to you. But she's got to break it down to you where it's got to make sense and where people are going to understand it. See, we've grown as a people where politicians have become the people that we don't trust. And it's a reason why we don't trust them, because we don't think that they are exactly on our side. They seem to be only on their side, and they're pretty much their agenda. And they tell you certain things. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then when they get there, they do SHIT, absolutely nothing.
Yep, that's why I have the people and talking to them and let them tell me what they want and they need, and I'm there to serve them.
No, we'll be right back in about a minute. So hang on tight.
A doctor's calling. A company's mission. United for a greater good. When Edmark International, the pioneers of wellness, joined forces with Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, naturopath, the world gained a new weapon in the fight for true health. Co-created, science-backed, nature-powered. This isn't just a product. This is a movement. Born from decades of groundbreaking research, naturopathic mastery, and Edmark's relentless innovation.
The body wants to heal itself, and we have just given it the ultimate toolkit.
A detox unlike any other. A partnership unlike any other. The future of health starts now.
All right. I've tried that product, and it's not bad, but I'm going to tell you, when you do that detox, whoo, baby.
Detox.
Yeah, man, detoxification is something else. You in the bathroom, y'all become very good friends for a minute or two. So let me introduce us. My name is Kendall Stevenson. This, of course, is the Empowerment Network. We're out here hanging out with Anna Lopez. She's running for the 115th district. She's a candidate. So she wants to introduce us, or she wants to tell us how the district should maybe be run as far as education is concerned, as far as our taxes are concerned. So she's just trying to educate us a little bit. Also, she's looking for your petition. So she's looking for signatures. All right, let me get back to Anna. Anna, hey, there you go. What's up, Anna? I thought I left you out there in the cold. It's cold out there, man.
It is cold. I'm cold. I had to rush back from being outside collecting petitions this week, and everyone's so gracious to open up the doors like I started. But I just want the opportunity to be able to get onto the ballot this year so that we can come out and discuss, real issues and get real answers and really work out what we're thinking and what we think is possible and not possible. Because together is how we're going to build and fix this and strengthen our systems that are there to serve us. So this twist that I guess I'm bringing, because as you were saying, Mr. Stevenson, that politicians normally do this, but I don't see myself as a politician. I see myself more as a legislator, an advocate, someone who's more like a political leader, because political leading is being able to listen and not say, okay, I'm doing this and I'm getting that. No, I'm not doing anything in my own personal interest. I need to know what everyone needs, which is including my own needs, because I need this. Like personally, I need this. I don't want to be taxed out of my home. I don't want to move. So this is why I'm in the snow and I'm collecting these petition signatures, because I need a change. And I'm not going to wait around and not be that answer, because I don't want to move. I don't want to be taxed out, and that's what's happening to me personally. I'm being taxed out of my home. Decisions that politicians are making at all levels that are impacting my life. It's changing my life. I came here so that I can stay home with my children and raise them. And my youngest ones are 10 years old and 14. Now I'm out here in the snow and blizzard collecting petitions because I need to go fight for my right to stay here. And I hope others that hear me can join me in that fight.
Wow. Okay. Hey, put up your dukes, man. I'll leave. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah. Anybody want to mess with me? I don't think so. I hear what you want to bring to the table. You want to lower taxes. You want to better us on education. As I said, my question always is and always will be is how.
Yep, how. And we got to work that out together. I have ideas, but it's not the solution. I am very smart, but I don't know it all. So this is why I need the community to come out and let's do it. It's like a think tank where we have to think together to solve this. And I'm believing, I'm actually going to try to schedule something the first week of March, that first Saturday. So hopefully when I confirm everything, you could go to my website, Anna Lopez for PA115.com, and you'll see my flyer to where my next event is going to be that first Saturday of March, so that we could all come together civically just to engage, to be able to talk and speak out these ideas and bring these solutions together and brainstorm. How can we make this possible? That's the how. Mr. Stevenson, I invite you to bring that how, because it's going to take all of us to create it. Well,
you know what they say. They say faith without works. So, if you sound like you had the faith, and now you have the opportunity to actually put in the work. So,
yes,
and what you do with it.
Yeah, I need the petition signing to get me on there. Then I won't be able to work. So I need the community to come out and give me that chance to be able to work. I'm ready.
Knock on the door. Let people know what you can do. Let people know who you are. Let people know. Mm-hmm. Let people know what you stand for, what you're all about.
Yes.
What? All right. So it's about that half an hour, and I'm just a bit. Happy. Yeah. I think you got your point across. But this snow, man, is really bipolar. Is it supposed to anymore?
No, I believe that everyone was talking about that it's going to be snowing all week, and thank God the sun was out today. It really was out here in Mount Pocono. We were with sunshine and snow. It was so beautiful, and it felt warm too. It wasn't that cold. I don't know, maybe
Yeah,
it's
it
just
was
me.
weird because the snow was like melting for some reason. I went outside today. I had to walk the dog, and I told you I had to go out for a little bit, and the snow was melting. It was like, wow, okay. You know, when you get into the, what I guess you call a city like Stroudsburg and stuff, you know, there's very little
It's
snow.
so different.
Out here where
Yeah.
I live at, yeah, well, out here where I live at, the snow is all over the place, man. I mean, just
Yeah.
all over the place. The only thing that's clear is my driveway. Other
And I
than
drove
that,
in that snow last night, bringing the dog to Awesome. It was real bad out there, really bad in Stroudsburg. It was really bad, but
hmm.
I made it back.
Wait, what do you think about the decision that came down with the tariff situation as far as the Trump situation is concerned?
Oh wow, I give it to the legislators there. I'm glad right now I'm not running for that seat. That's a tough thing. I'll be ready maybe in some years from now. I need some more experience for that one and more support for that one. That's a
I
tough,
tell you,
tough thing. I give
one thing
it
I
to
could
the
say
person
is,
running for that.
you know, we talk about taxes, and the one thing I could say is, yeah, I'm glad that the Supreme Court did what they did, but I'm just waiting for the retaliation because he already started to retaliate. He increased from 10% to 15% on some of the tax, on some of the tariffs that are still out there. He increased it by 15%. But the good side of that is it can only last for 150 days, and they're not like permanent tabs. Yeah, they kind of cut him off at the legs, told him he couldn't do that, and he got pissed off and stomped away like a crying baby. Boo hoo, boo hoo. You know, he was very upset. You know, very much into a tantrum. And then I think, what was it, a couple of days later, or was it a day after that? Somebody shows up at his Mar-a-Lago crib, and little kids, I think it's like 21, 19 years old, somewhere in that range. Young man. He goes there. He's got a gas can. He's got a shotgun, and he ends up losing his life. This president is like walking death to me, man. I mean, everywhere he goes, people are dying. It's all about, you speak about the corporation. We have an administration that's all about the corporation. This man has been making money hand over fist in office right now. He and his family. I mean, what happened to the mega the clause, the amalgamated clause that the president's not supposed to make any money while he's sitting there in office, and it seems like he's just making plenty of money. But I mean, maybe it'll come down and somebody will say the things that you're doing is illegal, and Pam Bondi end up in handcuffs along with Kash Patel. They'll walk out side by side, screaming and kicking and yelling, and Trump is going to get away with it, even with the Epstein's file. I don't see any real backlash with that. Even though around the world, you think about it, around the world, the governments have been arresting people with the prince. He's going to be locked up, right? Right? You know, they took his royal, his title away from him, so he's no longer royalty anymore. And other countries are not playing around with this Epstein file. The other people of power, and they're not playing around with it. They're actually taking action. So what's going to happen in this country? It seems like people just want to defend this man so much. I can't understand it. Why? And when people say it's like a cult, it kind of seems like one. I mean, the man has committed so many crimes, and I'm not saying like to be hyperbole or I'm kidding about it. The man is a criminal. He's 34-time convicted felon, right? Also, he's been charged with sexual assaults. Now the Epstein files coming up. And I keep saying, this is the guy we want for president. He's still blowing people up in the Caribbean, still killing people out there in the Caribbean. Why? My thing again is, don't we got National Guardsmen? And don't we have, what do they call it, the Coast Guard? Isn't it their job to stop drugs and people from entering in the country illegally or coming in with drugs?
Yeah,
Instead, he just kills them, you know?
Yeah, that's why I said who's running for this seat, I give it to them because they need to work. They need to work like way more than I'm working. I'm already at 3 o'clock in the morning. You pass by my house, you see my light on, and I'm still up at 10. And
well, we know the most important politics is local politics anyway. It becomes like a domino effect. So the things that you're doing you may think that what they're doing is harder. It's not harder. Yeah, it's probably harder on your end. You have to have more courage to do what you do at your end. What they have to do, they're already there. They're just in it for the money. Most of these cats, that's it. They're looking to get paid. They make bad decisions. They're not really making decisions based on what's good for the American people. You know,
Yep, I
they
hear
don't
you.
care about. They keep talking about they fool the American people by telling them we care about you, we love you, we want to make America great again. But you look at their actions. Their actions are conflicting from what they're saying.
Yeah,
So, and again,
actions
this is
mean
why
so much.
this is why a lot of people don't trust the politicians on either side of the fence, the Republicans or the Democrats. If people could do away with both of them, they would do away with all of it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we live in a system where it's either going to be one or the other. It's as being on top of the hill, sort of say. You know, there's not going to be an independent. We'd like them to be, but it's probably not going to be because they don't have the funding or the backing. Now, that's one of the things that needs to be taken out of politics is the lobbying, that money.
Yes.
Yeah, they get the CPAC, APAC, they get all this money.
Yeah, my campaign is grassroots all the way, and it's mostly me. You know, right now I have not done any fundraising, and I was like, "You're crazy." I'm like, I have not done anything. It's just me with my footwork and my skills, and I'm bringing that, forward. And
I think by now you might as well put it out there. Everybody
but
else
I
puts
will.
it out
Right?
there.
Yes, that's true.
You know,
Well,
I mean,
had
everybody
put
else has
together-
already got it up.
True.
You know,
It's
so.
true because I had went
And
to Strasbourg and I had put together like an 18-page packet, like really like if you did in college, like all the resources they can get and have for their projects there, because the taxpayers there are just facing such a high tax over there that just based on the last decision, I was at the meeting and I was the only elected official there. And I'm not even their elected official. I'm just like a school board elected official. And I'm in a meeting and I'm a candidate and I'm the only one there. And I just typed all this out. And then I have my friend say, Anna, you can really get this plan that you created and fundraise with it. Like, and I'm like, what? I never even fan on to like fundraise with like, no, but yes, I absolutely.
Yeah, that's why they call them fundraisers.
Yes, I have to do that. I promise.
And as far as the venue is concerned, I see politicians at times they do it right there from their home, right in their backyard, and they have fundraisers. So this way, that saves
cool.
money for to go find yourself a venue. You know, they bring out little drinks and they have little snacks for people to eat, and basically people sit around, chit chat, and talk and donate money. That's what it's all about. Donate money to your campaign. Yeah.
That's a good idea. You guys are welcome to my home. I better put together something.
Yeah. Well, go around town, meet some of the people. I tell you to go down there to what was that? If you want to get some good food.
I was thinking about cigars.
Willie May. Yeah, well, go over there to Q.
I really gotta go there. I want to go there real bad.
Go over there to IQ. I'm sure he'll look forward to having you come down, and I'm sure he'll make you feel very welcome. Okay, I'm sure he will. They have a lot of events that's going on now, comedy shows and different type of shows. They have dominoes that they play there. They play spades. They have spade games that they play there.
My
So
favorite game.
he's got live entertainment. He's got disc jockeys. He's got also live musicians that come in and play. So yeah, I mean it's a good place to go hang out. You and your hubby, I'm sure you love it.
Yeah. I can't wait. I'm really. It's going to be so busy, and I think I'll actually make a date to go there after March 10th and March 11th to have my celebration cigar. So I'll be there. And it should be March 10th. I'll be there March 10th. Whatever time he's open, I will be there March 10th because it's also my son's birthday. He's going to be 30. So it's celebration for handing in petitions. And so
you can show up there before then, you know what I mean? Q, he's big at networking. So
yeah.
You can show up there before.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna end this show here, and cause we don't gone past, and we're starting to get into that where we're just sitting there having a conversation about things that we need to be done for the future. Again, my name is Kendall Stevenson, and I'm here with Anna Lopez. And thank you guys for tuning into the PA Empowerment Network. Like I said, you should always think about something to be grateful for. Every day that you wake up in the morning, you should always look for something to be grateful about. You got family, you got friends, you got a roof over your head, you got a plate of food to eat. You should always be able to find something to be grateful for. And on that note, I'm going to tell you what my buddy always used to tell me. She said, be yourself, because everybody else is taken.